Let's see who's the best of the best friends. While the main series Pokemon games have become more plot-driven, especially in Gen 5, the Mystery Dungeon series was even more so, and one of the elements that's remained constant throughout the series is the partner character. This Pokemon is your best friend, your day one, your ride or die. This guy, or girl, would follow you to hell and back because that's how strong your bond is. So the question is, which one is the best? Today I'm going to be looking at the partner characters featured in the 4 main games across the PMD series, going over their role in the story as well as their relationship with you, the player, and in the end I'll decide which one I feel is the best written of the 4. Of course, this means I will be discussing important plot points, so yeah, spoilers. So let's start with... Looking back on it, the partner character in the Rescue Team games was kind of weird. I wish I had a better word to describe it, but that's what I'm gonna go with. Now, the reason why I say weird is because the Rescue Team partner is really trusting of you despite having just met you. For example, after you first meet in Tiny Woods and save a Butterfree's missing child, your partner just gives you a house. A friggin' house. It's like, I know we just met and everything, but here's this piece of land that I happen to own, so why don't you live in there rent-free? I mean, yeah, they say that they want to use this as the base for their rescue team, but if that's the case, then shouldn't the both of you live there instead of just you? I could also bring up the fact that when you tell them that you used to be a human, they just accept it, but to be fair, all of the partner characters are pretty blasé about that. Still, even the story brings up how weird this is when it gives you the option to ask them why they go so far for you early on in the game, but the only answer you get is, because we're friends. When I played through the Virtual Console release of this game, I didn't feel like this is my best friend and we're having adventures together, but rather, who is this weirdo and why are they so attached to me? I think the root cause of this is that there's little to no motivation as to why they're your friend in the first place, so instead of forming a bond with them, it feels like I'm just getting used to them. The Explorers games are unique in that they're the only games where you're introduced to the partner character before you actually wake up. While you briefly see your character passed out on the beach beforehand, the Explorers games actually take the time to set up your partner's personality, goals, and shortcomings before they even meet you. This is already a step up from Rescue Team, as we already have an understanding of who this character is from the very beginning. When you finally do meet your partner, your first adventure is brought on by Zubat and Koffing when they steal your partner's good luck charm and head off into Beach Cave. With no one else to turn to, your partner asks you for help. This first adventure is a lot more personal than the one in the Rescue Team games, and it makes your partner's trust in you early on much more believable. You were someone that was willing to help them in a time of need, and you stuck by them when they were too scared to join the Wigglytuff Guild. You become a source of inspiration for them, which helps them overcome their main flaw. The Explorer's partner is characterized as passionate but timid. They're shown to be quite knowledgeable about the Explorer Team scene and how mystery dungeons work, but they're easily scared and tend to let their nerves get the best of them. As the story progresses though, they gradually become more confident with each adventure you have, like your first bounty hunting mission and your first official exploration. When you finally go on a group expedition with the guild, you see how far they've come when they start planning out your route through the first dungeon. The downside is that this part of the story happens pretty early in the game, so it kinda feels like their arc ends a little too fast. Still, it's great to see how this newfound strength gives them the courage to stand up to foes like Team Skull, Luxray and Manectric, and even Dusknoir, and you end up feeling proud of them by the end. Looking back on it, it's hard to decide whether the partner in Gates is better or worse than the Rescue Team partner. Their motivation for being friends with you is a flimsy one, but it's a motivation nonetheless. They aren't questionably attached to you, but they also don't really have much of a personality, which becomes apparent when your team gains more members and your partner is quickly overshadowed by their more vibrant personas. I suppose what makes this partner marginally worse than the Rescue Team partner is that they aren't memorable. Yeah, the Rescue Team partner was borderline creepy, but it was something that you would remember regardless, and it leaves an impression on you. Not a particularly good one, mind you, but it's better than not leaving an impression at all. The Gates partner can be summed up by one simple statement: they're just there. Like the Explorer's partner, the partner character in SMD is introduced in a unique way. In all the other games, your partner is the first character you meet when you wake up in the Pokemon world. But here, you don't meet them until your first day of school in Serene Village. Right off the bat, your partner makes a lasting impression that sets them apart from the rest of the kids. Of course, this is made obvious by the fact that you chose them prior to starting the game and that they're the only starter Pokemon in the class besides you, but I feel that even if those factors weren't in the picture, they'd still stand out because of how they're introduced. When you first meet your partner, they instantly take a liking to you and declare themselves your friend. But Sketchy, I hear you ask, isn't this the same as the rescue team partner? Why is it a problem in that game but not here? The main difference that makes the SMD partner more believable is that we already know what they're like before they befriend us. They're the weirdo, the outcast, the one that no one really hangs with. So with that in mind, it makes perfect sense that they want to be friends with you despite not knowing you. When you're first getting to know them, they come off as reckless but confident, and at first it seems that the constant teasing from Pancham and Shelmet doesn't get to them. But you soon see that they aren't as confident as they look, and deep down they feel that they're a burden to everyone around them, including you. They even wonder if you're only friends with them just to be nice. That question caught me off guard, and it had me thinking about it like it was real life. Your partner does make progress with their flaws and shortcomings, but it's still an uphill battle to conquer them. And this is why I said that SMD made me question whether or not I was really the main character in my sketchy impressions of the game. And I realized how attached I grew to my partner at the end of the main campaign. The usual ending for Mystery Dungeon games is that once you save the world and have done what you were sent to that world to do, you begin to head back to the human world. But as you leave, you make a wish to return so that you can stay with your partner, and your wish is granted. In SMD, the tables are turned and it's actually your partner that has to leave. And no matter how hard you beg and plead, they don't come back. And you spend the entire credit sequence mourning the loss. Now, could the emotions from this scene be slightly influenced by the fact that it totally flips the usual Mystery Dungeon ending? Maybe. But I think that the likability of the partner character has more to do with it. If this character were swapped with a partner from Rescue Team or Gates, I don't think I would care as much, if at all. But because the SMD partner was so memorable and endearing, losing them really hit me, and it motivated me to get them back in the post-game. So, who's the best? In the end, it wound up between Explorers and Super, and it was a tough decision. It came down to how much of a lasting impression each character made on me. While you do spend more time with your partner in Explorers, the SMD partner left a bigger mark on me. They're a character that I can't help but root for, and when they triumph, I kinda share in that. So when it comes to who's the best written Mystery Dungeon partner, I gotta give it to Super. Hopefully, if we get a new Mystery Dungeon game in Gen 7, the writers will take notes from the past games and make a partner that's just as good, or maybe even better. So what do you think of the Mystery Dungeon partners? Who do you think is the best written? Swarm that comment section below or bug me on social media, and consider supporting me through Patreon or PayPal art commissions. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.